Wow.
The shed's looking great.
Yeah.
I'll get back.
So anyway, guys, it's the 27th of January 2026. All right. And we're gathered here in the main shed, Scioból, in Gweedore. And really the purpose of us gathering here is to collect some of the local gossip from a long time ago. The first question I wanted to ask you guys, so I'll ask is introduce yourself, but can I say, would it be fair to say that you were all born in the 40s?
Yes.
The 40s, okay.
Well,
So
I was born in the 30s.
you were, all right,
38.
you'll get your chance.
38.
But what I was thinking is that you were born either before, during, or just after the Second World War, and now in 2025, that all seems like, well, it's not only a century away, but it's also a millennium away. You know, and I say young people would have no idea about, I think, the content of the conversation about the lives you guys have lived, and that's what I was interested in collecting. So we're up here in northwest Donegal in Gweedore, a small rural community, and in general, when I moved up here, I found that everybody was related to everybody else, but you necessarily didn't all come from one place. So maybe I'll go around. So I'll just ask you for the record to. It's like being in court for the record to introduce yourself. All right, so we'll start with you, Connie.
Well, I'm Connie O'Donnell from Knockastiller, and I was born in Knockastiller in 1945.
Wow.
So that leaves me going the wrong way.
So you were just 80 last year.
Yeah.
All right. And Des?
I come from County Leitrim.
From County Leitrim.
No, no,
That wouldn't be a secret here in the shed because Des loves the song. I love my lovely Leitrim. But were you born in Leitrim, were you?
Born in Leitrim, yeah. And I was born in 1943.
43. All right, so you're 83 this year, right?
Just the middle of the war. Time was voting.
All right. Right.
And,
Just to say, we're eating these lovely scones here that were made by Mary Cleary and donated. She wanted to make sure we'd have a nice convivial space here today.
scones are beautiful.
So you're happy with the scones?
Oh,
It's
they're
really
Go back and-
delicious. Really delicious.
I must take some home with me.
Really appreciate that.
Mary, I want more. Take them.
If she starts up a business so we can help her make money.
They are,
Anyway.
they are beautiful.
So where in Leitrim were you born?
Mohill.
Mohill.
A wee town called Mohill.
Well,
There's some great house fairs up there.
Right.
That area.
All right. And what about you then, Ronald?
Well, I'm Ronald Turk from Bunnan-Inver in Gweedore here. I was born in 1938.
And where were you born, Ronald?
Well, I didn't know where I was born until I was 60 years of age,
Okay.
so I didn't. So,
Well, I think we maybe go into that a little bit, but do you now know where you were born?
I know now.
Where?
Well,
Just to blaze us out.
Liverpool.
In Liverpool, all right, okay.
Yes.
So I'm Liam O'Gogan, I'm just 70 in February this year, so I'm a lot younger than you guys, born in 56. And I was born in Dunleary. Strange enough, my father was a customs man, but he would have been based in Pettigo at the time. But for some reason or other, the Dubs always wanted to go back home to have their babies born in Dublin, you know. But I suppose I thought I'd have a chat about what your memories of primary school were like. I thought if we go along a route, like, what was primary school like for you at the time? And rather than me ask specific, I mean, let's just try and go back to, I suppose, when you're under 10, up to 10 years of age. What was the world like for you?
oh, it was quite good. Enjoyed it, but in primary with us, they were taken in from as far away as Monaghan.
It's Monaghan.
Monaghan into the school
Wow.
for them to learn Gaelic. The
Right.
teachers was getting paid to learn Gaelic and get them through the exams to go to college.
Right.
Now, the same people round here, the lads and the girls round here, if they wanted to go anywhere, they had to pay to get taught, more or less.
In primary school?
Yeah,
wasn't it?
because they were in at 8:30 in the morning.
Right.
We didn't go until 9:30. They were into 4, we were away home at 3.
Were they the same age as you?
Same age, yeah.
Right, okay. Right.
And if you weren't paid, you know, if you didn't pay for that, you didn't get educated. Nobody bothered with you.
Right.
Oh.
You stood along the wall. You didn't even get sitting down all day.
Were you in a big school or a small
It was
school?
just a
Connie?
small school up in Knockastiller there.
Couple of classes?
Yeah.
Couple of classrooms, yeah?
There was 4 teachers in it.
Right.
Really?
And that was it. Once you get 14 years of age, that was it. You left school.
And was
Now-
that the norm to leave school
At 14, yeah.
14? And did you do your primary, sir?
Yeah, because nobody bothered with you.
All right, okay.
So the Knockastiller school closed in the holidays, the beginning of the holidays in the summertime. And it opened, the new school in Bunbeg opened in August, or they went back to school. So I wouldn't be, in August, I wouldn't be 14 until November. I never went back to school. Nobody ever asked where I was. Because I was only taking up a seat
Yeah.
on somebody else that was paying the money.
Wow.
So that's the way the
So
school
what
got.
was it like in Leitrim days?
Well, Leitrim was more or less what Connie is saying there now. We went to school and first time I heard Gaelic being spoken.
Was it in school?
Probably only about 2 or 3 now, I mean 6 or 7 at the time really.
Right.
And really at the time I was really good at Gaelic. But then you went home then, there was nobody to converse with at home.
Nobody to talk to.
They give you a slap very quick and say, oh, that's no good to you. That'll be no good to you. Don't learn that. And there from there, and then from there we carried on as usual. Went home and had your milk your cows and all the rest. As one did.
So you would have had a farming
Oh,
background?
I found, and then if nothing else to do, you'd be out pulling buckle and weeds. Buckle and weeds.
Would it be?
Just to get you out of the house, get you doing something.
Can I say the land in Leitrim wouldn't be great, would it? For
No.
farming, no, I mean.
And parts is probably,
Yeah,
parts
but
is
I'm
all
saying you
bloody-
wouldn't have a lot of acres. Of
a lot of it was all bloody rushes. Like,
good. All right, right.
I think there was we had about 50 acres, maybe half of it fucking bloody rushes and all that. But
Right
whatever.
north.
And some of it was a good really for tillage and all that. You know,
Right.
with potatoes and corn and whatever.
We were joined briefly there by Anne-Marie, Ronald's daughter, and she wanted to taste her buns and all.
Thanks, Anne-Marie, calling.
So what about you, Ronald? I know you've had a bit of a convoluted story, but just in terms of...
I went to an Edinburgh school.
Oh, sorry. So just to say to you, you would have been adopted, I think, before you went to school age. Is that right?
Sorry, I went
You're on
to
it.
first school I ever went to was in Castle Dermot in
Kildare, is
in
it?
Kildare.
All right, okay.
I did not enjoy one day there, so
Right.
eventually
Nowadays it's going to be...
I ended up then in Donegal.
Thank you.
Right.
The
Side of all.
Any more tea?
No, thanks.
Ronald, heat up.
No, thank you.
All right.
No, there was people in Donegal looking for a child,
Right.
and I was sent to Donegal, so I ended up.
Mine.
I hadn't a word of English the day I went in, or the Gaelic the day I
Right.
went into school.
Oh, so what was that like for you?
No, nobody could speak to me or talk to
Because
me.
I presume...
and I couldn't talk to
Yeah,
anybody
but I
else.
presume the kids who were into school spoke Irish
Oh, it was all Irish.
as their primary language, isn't that right? So their problem would have been learning English, isn't that right?
Yes. And see, I arrived in Donegal on a Friday,
Right.
and Monday morning I was banged into school. So, anyway, I wasn't long learning Gaelic, so learned enough, but I enjoyed my time at infant school
Right.
till I moved up, further up, and things got worse then. I never enjoyed that day after at school.
After
And
primary school. So would it be fair to say that primary school was a good experience, was it?
It was
Generally?
a great experience because I had a terrific teacher.
Wow. Again, small school, was it?
Yes, the small school.
Right, so they only have a couple of classrooms. What about you, Des? Did you in a small school or was it a bigger school?
A small school, sure, yeah.
Right.
2 teachers, 2 women.
So like I went to school in the Christian Brothers in Dundalk, which was a big school, you know, so I never had for example, there was always a different classroom for every teacher in my experience, etc., you know.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of slapping and that, but again, I suppose that was the reality of these days as well. That was the norm.
The knuckles and all that.
Oh,
Did they use letters in your school or what?
no, the shaft of a brush.
The shaft for brush.
That was it, yes.
Wow.
Oh, brush, yeah.
They weren't afraid to use it. They were not afraid to use
Your
it.
men were not as well equipped as the Christian Brothers. All men had out their own customised letters. You know what I mean? Some fellas would be known for having put copper coins inside the letter just to strengthen it up. You know, that was it. But like in terms of your memories of school, do you have? You know, obviously there was physical punishment, etc. But did you feel bad about your experience in school as a result of that? Or did it just water off a duck's back?
It was water off a duck's back because you didn't, at that age, you didn't care, you know.
I remember we standing in the line, and the whole thing was when you get slapped, you see your hands would be stinging, you'd go to cool them down. And then some fellas would jump the queue and start doing this in the hope that your man wouldn't see them.
Would we get to that?
There was clever boys there at that time. So did you do the primary cert then, Ronald, did you?
No, nothing at all.
No.
No, you didn't do it. And what about you then?
Yeah,
I'm in that bracket another 10 years younger, and you know, for me the norm was primary school, and by the time I had got to that level, maybe at 1967, a lot of people went on. In fact, I went into second level in 1968, and that was the first year of free education that Don O'Malley introduced free education. And a couple of years ago, we had a school reunion, maybe 40 years out, and we met the headmaster who'd been a young teacher at the time, and he was saying that the school had physically expanded to accommodate the lots of new students that were going to come. So I suppose before my year, you would only have gone on to second level if you won a scholarship, or you paid.
Yeah, you
right?
paid.
And then it became normal. But it wasn't even in your situation normal that you might do your primary cert.
No, nobody bothered with you. Nobody pushed you.
So when it came to, so in terms of, when you got to, it was, I presume, 6th class, is it? There was 6th class.
Yeah.
So what did everybody just leave, or was there secondary schools, or was that normal?
Oh, well, there was the secondary school came in our school way down there, which is where they're building the houses now.
Oh, right, so there was a local secondary school. And that would have been the local school for you, and you were a different place, Bunning in for a number of kilometres.
That was built 1969, I think.
But you couldn't go there until you
yeah.
That was way after my time. Anyway, so.
Only if I couldn't get in there.
So what about you, Des? When you came to the end of primary school, what did you do?
I was lucky enough. I went to the technical school.
Oh, there was a tech in Mohill, was there? All right, right.
Got interested in carpentry and all that. And done an apprenticeship in carpentry to a man who was a farmer, of course.
Right.
Plus he used to do coach building. That time of the old mill trailers. You know, all that time.
Right.
Every wagon came in. There was no steel bodies that time going. There was all timber.
Okay.
From the chassis up, built up. But anyhow, I was making more cows than I was really playing in timber a lot of the time.
For him?
Aye.
All right.
you got fed on water and you got £1 a week.
£1 a week was your apprentice wages.
Yeah.
Right.
That was in 1959 and 60s.
Right.
61. Yeah.
So a couple of things just about apprenticeship. Was an apprenticeship formal? You know, did you do it for a period like 5 years, the way things are structured now?
That time you should have done 5 years. I got just done 2 years and then.
Right.
So an uncle of mine said, or an auntie of mine said, advised me, look, if you're better out of England, better go to England. Okay. And I'll give you the money. She gave me £12.
Right.
£12 to go to Carrigan, get the train up to Dublin and over to Holyhead, and that £12 done me a week or 2 weeks. Right. And
So
that was the best move ever.
Where'd you got to Holyhead? Where'd you end up in England? I mean, did you have family or any connections?
London.
Did you have any?
I had a friend with me, right? I had no family, no nothing over there.
When you went to London, you just on your own. What age were you?
I was just 17, coming 18.
Right, okay, right.
17, coming 18, just.
Right.
And
So
my
what
first
about
job
you,
then was with
Ronald?
Me, well, when I was 16, I went to Scotland.
So just to say now, you left school obviously at 14 or something. And what were you doing then? Hanging around?
14,
Sorry, I don't mean that. Like
flat out working on the small plot that we had.
Yeah,
so
okay.
it's just,
So all the
and,
work was manual
looking
then.
after cattle
Would there have been
and stuff like that.
tractors?
Oh, no tractors.
No,
no.
like I mean,
There was the odd one.
right.
Very, very
And what about you?
short.
Would there be tractors? Like obviously, one thing I know is anyways, the fields are quite small. You compared to you look at European places that are miles long. So a lot of the work was manual and hand.
All
manual
manual
stuff,
and
yeah.
hand. Lucky to have a donkey to do it.
So anyway, so you got you're 16 and you went to Scotland. So what was the trigger to move you to Scotland?
Oh, well, my foster father,
Right.
he was going to Scotland. So I
And
went
would that
along
have
with him.
been sort of in the group of people who used to go over and back on seasonal work?
Yeah,
was
some
that?
seasonal work. So
Right.
it was seasonal the first year.
So you went along with
I
him?
went along with him and we worked on a farm, and the pay was only £7 a week at that time.
A lot more than Des was getting.
And we got a pound
Milking a man's
extra
cows.
during the hay season and the harvest. You got an extra pound, you got up to 8.
Right.
And
So where would you were? It's a farm out the country you were working. Where would you have slept and lived and those?
there was a nice farmhouse.
All right, okay.
the Botty, was it?
We were in a
Botty.
house,
The Botty.
an empty house, a botty. But
So the botty would be, just to explain, so a botty would be
Well,
like
it's
a
a
bahorn
shed.
or something like that.
Be more or less a shed turned
Right.
into a
Could
couple
be a
of
byre
beds
just
thrown
opening
into
up.
it and that.
Right.
But we were really in a house like
Okay,
it was,
right,
had a
right.
bathroom and
You were lucky.
toilet and everything. So that and we went back the following year then to the same place.
And would it just been the two of you, or were you
Oh.
part of a bigger group?
No, just the two.
Just the
Well,
two
there
yous.
there were other people that was there all the year round.
Yeah.
There was another 2 men working there. So we came home then for Christmas the second year and
Oh yeah, that's
stayed at
interesting.
Christmas.
So like when you'd be away, so to be fair, was this your first time abroad? Both?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So, I'm just thinking of reading of autobiographies of people like Liam Brady and that who go to play football, say in Arsenal when they were 15 or 16, and the big thing always was homesickness. Did that affect you? Like, I'm just saying, you going to London, getting on, you get into Holyhead and get down to Euston or whatever it is, and
Oh, I did surely for a good while, like, really.
right,
You miss your old friends and that, whatever. But you just had to get on with it. And that was it.
Nothing else for
You
it.
wanted to survive, or else. There was no place else to go. You're back home again, right? So
to
you
your
didn't have
country.
much, you had no choice.
So Connie, so when you got to your school, 14, whatever, where'd you go then? What
Well,
happened to you?
I was hanging about doing cows, looking after cows.
So again, with the same
But I-
background for you to be a bit of
Yeah.
land and cows and whatever.
Not much, but there were enough
Right.
to keep you going.
Right.
And that was when I was 14, and when I was 15, I went away to England. I went
Right.
over to.
Again, I'm trying to. What's the trigger to go? Did you have somebody there? Was it
Oh, my
something
brother
else?
was there.
Okay, so you had to start.
Well,
with the
my
balance then.
two brothers, one of them was in Glasgow and a sister in Glasgow. But Jim, the other brother, he was working in Bolton,
Bolton.
near Manchester.
Right.
So I went across there when I was 15, and I was there for till that was about August. I was there till about New Year. My father died, God rest him, in New Year, and came home.
Did your father die suddenly?
Yeah,
All right.
heart
okay, that was a
attack,
big shock.
and he was only 67 years of age.
And that meant there was a number of years away in England.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
4 years away.
4 of us,
Yeah, okay.
and came home for that, and I stayed then until March,
Right.
and I went back.
Was there anybody else left at home?
Well, my mother and
Oh, yeah.
sister.
And so
Yeah,
so
one
you stayed
sister,
on
yeah.
right for a while.
Stayed
Right.
till March and went back to war again. Back to England, back to Bolton, Manchester.
Okay.
Worked there for a couple of years. And From
So what
then-
sort of work were you doing? It just in
Well, it
terms
was
of job, when you went to
outside
boat?
work was tunnel work that was there at that time.
Right.
Laddies had headings going and that. And then you're outside working as well, different places, you know.
Right.
And in 63 then, 63, went to London. The Victoria line was going, the tunnel.
So again, it was tunneling.
Tunneling, I worked there till 63, 64, 65.
Must be,
I left and was back in Glasgow. Then back down in England again, you're away wherever the good money was, like, you know.
So a couple of things. I met a young fellow up in the Court Hotel 2 days ago in the jacuzzi, and he's 27. And I was asking what he is. He says, I'm a tunneler. He says. And she said, I'm going to be talking to these boys all about their tunneling. And I was saying, I wouldn't think it's the same sort of tunneling you do. Oh, he says, no, I have all my remotes and all
No,
that.
remote control.
Most of the work he's doing at the moment, he's doing in Germany. He does for contracts. He's doing in Germany at the moment. They're building a tunnel from the north of Germany right down to the south to transport energy lines. So the tunnel he's working at the moment is only 600 mil in diameter. So he's saying you're obviously not crawling through that. So that's done from the top with remote controls. But he says he's really well paid, and I think I'll be buying a house or two this year. Cocky young fellow, nice guy and all that. But it brought me back because there's a tie between that and the world before, you know. And like this guy seemed like, look, he seemed in good shape and looking after himself and all the rest, enjoying the company of his friends. But I just had this immediate picture that the world looked quite different.
Sure.
Obviously, than it did then. So when you went to London the first, so you go down, you get into Euston or whatever on a train. I just want to, you're in there, whatever, 16, 17 years of age. What do you do next? How'd you get a job, or what sort of job did you get? Or?
Well, this friend of mine, knew a friend who was working on the British Rail.
Right, okay.
And they got me in there eventually. I went down to fill a form. I never filled a form in my life. And I must have been maybe an hour looking over this form, and went up to the desk, and he asked me to buy it. The receptionist or inspector who he is, why did you take so long to fill in the form? Well, I've always told him there and then I'd never seen one of these before.
Right.
Which I didn't.
No.
Didn't know you had to go through all this.
I know it was the first time I saw a form, but how literate were you? Could you read and write? I'm sorry, I'm just asking that question.
That's quite good reading and writing.
Yeah, it wasn't that, it was just being faced.
Oh, no.
Like no one had obviously shown you how, like to ask whether you did a job interview, no such thing as a job. So I presume you get a job through somebody who helps you get in, get the start.
You had to give your age and all that on there, and I got my age of 17 or 18 at the time, blah, blah, blah. And you were supposed to have your 21st birth certificate with you to show.
You go well at that one, Ronald.
They gave me 2 weeks to produce that.
Right, to grow 4 years.
I was working on the trains, patching up this and patching something, a chip here or a chip there, or whatever. Coach builder, as supposed to be.
All right, okay.
Anyway, I got 3 months there actually.
Aye.
And eventually they really put the pressure on me.
What, to produce the forms?
So I had to go in and say, administrator, out the door right away.
Right.
So I ended up then getting a job with Mr. Wimpy.
All right. Okay.
He was doing a job up the road there.
So just, I'm not sure how big Wimpy are still, but Wimpy were the big building contract. Right. So.
Yeah.
They were a big contractor, yeah.
They were big that time, right?
Yeah.
And would it be fair to say there was a lot of Irish guys? I just go back to me tunneling fella.
Mostly all Irish.
The fellow the other day told me that 90% of the people the fellas tunneling with him are Irish, and most of them are from Donegal.
Yeah.
So the tradition of tunneling from Donegal has obviously been a long-term tradition.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. But you had to be 18, you see.
Oh, right, okay.
Because if you weren't, now if I went over at 15 years of age, I would be just, if I got a 5 for a week, I would be lucky.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And you had to go and get a set of books saying that you were 18 years of age.
Right.
So you were working in Paul's books until you were 18.
Right.
And
but there wouldn't have been a lot of checking up, would there? I mean, I know British Rail is probably different because it's official.
No, not really, no. Nobody,
they weren't as strict as
they weren't as strict that time, no.
Right.
But once you came 18, then you went in your own books and you put up your stamps and Like that's how you get a
Because you'd no
pension.
stamp,
Other
that's
than
right,
that.
you'd have no stamps
You'd have no stamps
before you,
for
when
it.
you're off the
No.
books. Like,
Oh, well, I did.
Yeah.
The farmer we went with, we had
All
the
right.
books straight away.
Aye. Oh, you had to
Even
have
at
the
16,
books. Yeah.
went into Edinburgh, no problem at all.
Right.
But the books you had, you see, at
You had
that
to be
time,
insured.
to be a different name and a different age and all of this, you know.
Right.
And them stamps that you put up, what I would have put up from was 15, 16, 17, 18, near enough 4 years of stamps. No good to me. You got nothing off.
Oh,
No,
but you can't claim back in them.
can't
yeah.
claim, couldn't
Yeah,
claim on any of them, you know. And you went back in your own books.
So just the other thing that strikes me, you know, no blacks, no dogs, no Irish that we keep hearing about all the time.
I had that actually. in
Obviously,
that,
we don't hear.
town.
Yeah, we don't hear that so much now. But in the times that you went there, was that a real sense of that? I mean, I know you're in your own community, so it's
You
probably
would
not.
see it in a one day here and there, but no, nobody ever bothered. I never got anybody bothering with me.
Right.
Because,
You weren't.
to be
picked on
honest,
in
we
a
never
sense.
stayed in digs.
You what?
And digs, as they call it, you know.
Yeah.
With that landlady cooking for you and everything.
So nobody just would have stayed in the one
a,
digs, would you?
We'd get a room,
All right.
you know, a flat.
Yeah.
You'd be maybe a 3-story building. You would get maybe 2 rooms and a kitchen, bathroom and that, you know. There would be,
Well, so you cook
there'd be always
yourselves.
4 or 5 of us together.
Right.
Always ran about together, like, you know. And you stayed, you cook for yourself and done your own thing. So nobody ever bothered me, you know.
So what about you, Ronald? Obviously, the experience you talked about staying in the farm, but did you move on then to working in other spaces, in cities and whatever?
They came home for Christmas and New Year and second year, and then went back in January and I went to Wales.
To Wales?
To Wales with another 2 fellas
All right, so
that were back and forward to Wales.
oh, so they were the contacts there, right?
Yeah, well, they knew their way about there. They'd
Okay.
been there before. And
So where did you go to in Wales?
Glamorgan
Right.
and near Cardiff.
And was that in what sort of work was there?
Pit work,
All right,
all
okay.
in the coal mines. And,
So the song that comes to your mind, you know, school days over, come on there, John. The song about time to be putting your work boots on. It reminds you of that sort of era. But were they open pits or were they?
deep down pits.
Deep down. All right, okay.
Deep down pits.
Well done.
You went down the depth.
Minimum of 1,000 feet down.
All right. Oh, sorry.
You went down the depth.
Wow. So, like, just take me through that. So, how did you get down there? I'm going to ask you, obviously.
Oh, down
stupid
in a
question.
lift.
In a lift.
In a
All right.
lift, yes.
And down 1,000 feet.
Yes.
Right. And a question I asked you, young fella, how big were you going through a tunnel, or was it an open face, or when you went down?
Oh, it was just 25 feet diameter.
Right.
Horseshoe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then were you then supposed to chip away at the face? Was it,
We used to
or was it explosives?
put in new driveways into new coal
Right.
seams
And explode them.
and explode them. It was tunnelling work.
Okay. All right. Right.
We weren't employed by the National Coal Board. We were employed by the cementation, which were the contractors. for
So you weren't necessarily collecting the coal, you were clearing the way for the coal to be
clearing the way.
picked. Right,
That's
right.
it.
So you go down, firstly, I think, would it be right to say there were long days?
Pardon?
Were they long days and was there shifts or
Oh
what?
no, 8 hours.
8 hours, okay.
8 hours.
And was it shift work or?
4 shift work, 3 shift works.
Right, and did you swing the shift or were you on permanent shifts?
Oh no, change about every
All right,
week.
okay,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
So why were they only 8 hours? I mean, sorry, no, why was that safety?
Oh, that was long enough because even though you weren't another coal face, you were coming out nearly as black as the miner.
Right. And I presume you had no mass around, you were
No
just, there was all,
mass,
everything was
no,
coming in.
not
and out.
at all.
No safety.
No.
I think
No safety.
most everybody was.
You see,
The
with
only
you-
thing you had was a helmet.
Oh, right, okay. No,
You never wore it half the time.
Oh, you had to wear it there.
Aye.
Or you wouldn't get
but I presume you sweated a lot. It was heavy, it was sweat
for
and work
God's
and
sake,
whatever.
it was nothing but a vest on.
Yeah.
The shimmy.
And what, did you come up and down for lunch? And again, I'm in way of answering these questions, I'm thinking that I think it's many young people, whether they're boys or girls or men or women, wouldn't have experience of this sort of world. Like, but when you went down in the morning, did you come back for lunch, come up for lunch, or
Oh, no.
you stayed down,
You
brought
have your
with you?
sandwiches down with you once you
Yes,
went
I can
down.
imagine them black sandwiches.
You stayed down.
Stayed down.
Even if there was an accident, so you wouldn't be taken up right away either, because while we were working, the haulage lines were operating.
Oh, right, once you were down, the lines took over, like, yeah.
It's done. They were. It was all ropes. I was on these haulage lines,
All right.
big winches up at the.
Aye.
Oh, rather than steam rails or
Yes, yes, at that time.
Right.
Well, there were places in the pits where they were using ponies
Pony, aye.
on the flat.
We pony.
Pet ponies.
Ponies pulling the...
Wee skips, yeah.
Wee skips. Oh, ponies down. There were stables and everything down in every one of them pits.
Right.
Aye.
What did you do for liquids during the day? I mean, in terms of drinking, if you're
Well, you had
thirsty
to
or
have your
whatever.
water with you too.
Aye.
But you brought your own water.
Oh, you did.
You brought your own water and sandwiches down with you.
Right. Many guys would be working in a gang with you.
About 6 or 7.
All right.
Yes.
And so were you have you a similar experience here?
No, I never worked in the pits, no.
Right, okay.
Never in the pits, no.
I spent 4 years there. Gone I was with me and I never gone in.
Aye.
We were there.
And again, did you stay in digs the way
Yes.
Connie talked to us?
Oh, yes.
Everybody just gangs up together.
Yes.
And did you work Saturdays and Sundays, guys, or just 5 day a week or what?
Oh, aye, we used to work Saturdays and Sundays, different jobs, yeah.
Yes.
But was Sunday still a day of the Lord? Was Sunday the day you dressed up,
Oh,
go to
yes.
mass or whatever? Was Sunday's the only day you could be clean? I presume.
The way it was with us, if you worked the 6 days, you got paid 7 for it.
All right, okay.
Aye,
Right.
and there, but on ordinary jobs now, you worked a Saturday, you get half time, paid half, time and a half
Time and
rather,
a half, yeah.
in the morning, and then in the evening, from 1 o'clock or whatever it was,
Yeah.
2 o'clock, you get double time.
time.
Right, okay.
And on a Sunday, you got double time for it.
Right.
For the 8 hours or the whatever you work, 12 hours, whatever you work.
Right. You know the idea, like association football grew in England out of the industrial age when the typical, when I started working in CIA on the railway, I was involved with the DART to design the electric trains, but I was working in Chicor, which had all the history of what Des talked about in British Rail. And I remember when I went in there first, there was 4 generations of one family
Oh, yeah.
working. There was a young fella who was just joining at 15, and his great grandfather was turning 65 and he was just about to retire. So for about 4 weeks in the foundry, there were 4 generations of men in that space.
Oh, yeah.
But those men used to tell me that they used to work, the only time they didn't change out of their work year was on Sunday. Right? And the idea being then that, like, when they get to lunchtime on Saturday, they go down to the pub or else they go to a match or something. So obviously the whole thing in England and the Premiership is to go into the match, whether it's in Celtic or United or whatever. I presume, is that something you did as well, like, which is going to matches?
No, I never went to I never went to any matches in England.
All right.
I lived, she lived round the corner from Arsenal football ground, Gillespie
Wouldn't
Road.
have been, that wasn't your
And
time.
on Saturday morning, if you weren't working, we used to go away down to the pubs or go away and watch a film or something
Right,
out of the way, you know.
Right.
And in Glasgow, now, if I was in Glasgow, I had a few games surely. But I was at Ibrox one day and I came out, and from I left the top steps until I was out in the road, not one toe had a step coming down. You were just carried.
Carried.
And big, what do you call it, Clydesdale horses outside. And if you went down, you were just thrown to death.
You were gone.
You're down.
You were gone.
I said, that's it. I'll watch it on the television from now on.
Much safer.
Oh, aye. Yeah.
So for you, Des, you're working with Wimpy now, saying work gangs. Was it buildings you were on, or
Building, yeah.
Building houses or blocks or apartments or
There
whatever?
was an apartment actually.
In London, obviously
Aye.
built up areas.
Yeah.
No. Would you have had to travel far from your digs? You were in digs as well, were you?
I was lucky enough. I'm fairly close to my walking
Okay.
distance really.
Okay.
But you get the bus, get the bus down again, surely. Never.
Was there a lot of work? Was there?
No, there
was it hard to get work?
No, it wasn't plenty of work.
No, you could have 3 and 4 jobs.
The one day.
Same day.
Plenty of work.
On the same week, you could be on 3 different jobs if you wanted.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
And so, in terms of pay and all the rest, compared to if you were like Des Dave, obviously, your man would still be paying about £1 a week for milking them more. But did you sense that you were getting more money in England than you could have got if you stayed at home?
Oh, you did.
Definitely.
There was nothing here.
Nothing.
Nothing here. There was no factories. There was no nothing. Now, in my time, the ESB was working here. And the canal.
Because over at the
door
way
there.
to the court, is it?
Yeah.
Was there
Come down to the court,
station?
yeah.
What's a coal or
There was a third station there, and then they came down and put a canal right down into the rampart.
All right. So
But there was a lot of work that time.
Right.
But that was in the late 50s.
Right.
But you
I
couldn't get on
wasn't-
there.
I
You couldn't
wouldn't
get
be-
on there unless you knew some big
But I
boy.
wouldn't be the age for it, like, you know.
The Pope, you had to go to the Pope or something
Oh,
to
right,
get
it.
So
on.
it was about finished by the
Yeah.
time I went away to England.
So when you were working, did you sense you had money? Like, let's say you're turning your 20s, young fellas 20s, I say, Des, you can get a job any day. Had you sense of a few pound in your pocket?
Definitely, but it wasn't kept long in the pocket.
So tell me about that. So
You
what?
enjoyed it.
Okay, so like when you went home in the evenings, I mean, obviously, I want to talk about the evenings during the week and then at weekends, but generally when you're home in the evening, would you be getting out every night?
No.
No. Is that because you're tired? Like?
During the week,
Not
you
at all,
wouldn't,
no.
you know.
Right.
You might go, if there was a picture hall in the area, and, you know, you might go to a film or, you know, something like that. But on a
They're good fellas on
Saturday,
the
Friday night, maybe Sunday night, especially Saturday, Sunday night,
What a
you go
big
to the
night.
pub,
Oh,
and from there to the dance.
Saturday night mostly.
There was plenty of dancing going.
What was that, yeah?
So were these dances, let's say the dances, would they have been in, what do you call the ones in London?
Well, you had the Galtymore.
And
You had the Round Tower in Hollow Road.
The Buffalo in Camden Town.
You had the Buffalo in Camden Town. You
Fight
had
your way in, we'll fight your way out, the Buffalo.
the other one up on, what do you call it, top of Hollow Road, the Gresham.
Gresham off the top.
Then you had the, what do you call it,
and the Round
the
Tower and the
Hibernian.
St. Oliver's out in Manor House.
That's right. Oh, there was, you could go
You could be
dancing.
dancing every night.
You could go dancing every night if you wanted to.
But did you tend to, I mean, I mean, when I was maybe 22 or 23, I was an American, I met some guys and there were 2 Protestant guys but they were architects in England time. So I remember when I went over to London visiting them and they took me to the Galtymore and one of them, the brother Hughie, was a mechanic, and when we went there was a big row and the Prods were beating the shit out of the Catholics who were all doing this. And then the next morning they're all down the pub drinking together. You know, and then in the afternoon they started beating each other again. They thought this was great. I was thinking, what am I doing?
Oh, very nice.
So I sort of got the tail end of that.
That's the way it was.
Yeah, but so it was quite normal, isn't it?
Oh,
And
right.
the other thing is, people tend, the way rows tend to happen now, a lot of people end up dead. That didn't happen then. It's not right.
Well,
You're like,
I know there would be.
as in saying to the doctor, you want a bacon or a yolk?
Yeah, that would be it.
It wasn't. It was slobbering around stuff.
Aye.
But somebody said to me,
Handbag stuff.
yeah, there was a man I met sort of from Middlesbrough the other day, and again, he's maybe same age as me, but he's saying when he grew up, there was a sort of an unwritten rule when there'd be a row. The 2 boys might be hitting each other, a third man never joined in.
Yeah.
And when one fellow was winning, everybody said, let him off. So it never got out of control like that. So I just think, see, that's not very well understood. Because, I mean, the numbers don't lie. I mean, if you look at the amount of people that get killed in one blow, deaths and all this, it's horrible now. But I don't have that memory. I have lots of memories of gangs, of, you know, old gang in our street were fighting some other gang. But what started the rows, guys? I mean, what do you think started the rows?
Drinking women.
There could be one, usually there's one, always one a wee arsehole they call it.
Oh, they would die.
That's it. Goes out especially to cause havoc among a gang. And they'll pick on somebody like that, and you come and save me, and I bump up.
And then we're all
that was
there.
how often there. And
Yeah.
the wee arsehole, he's away. He's gone.
He's away. You would be allowed.
Plenty of them, every parish had them, every town had them.
Yeah.
Right.
The same way here, Middletown Hall there and Dellybeck, every night. Not that we were away all the time, but if you're home here in holidays, and it was the same crowd that was fighting every night.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them, they were.
And say the pubs you went to, I mean, would the pubs have been mostly men only? Was it such that women?
Oh
had
no,
to
there was
drink
women and
stuff?
all. Yeah.
Because at that time in Ireland, like
Yeah.
the women didn't
No,
drink in the main
I'm
pub.
not-
Is that right?
We're talking about England, like.
Oh, no, but it was quite different when you'd come home. Is that right? The women
Different,
were in
yeah.
wine bar. So it was a big difference that you could meet women in the pubs in England.
Oh, in England, aye. Now,
Right.
Scotland, you wouldn't get many women about the pubs.
Oh, I suppose
not really.
Oh,
You know,
at that time.
until later years.
Right.
But England now, yeah, in the lounges there was pubs there about what you call Holloway Road and Seven Sisters Road.
Manchester,
It'd be,
Did you hang around mostly with Irish people?
oh, aye,
Yeah.
aye.
Like it wasn't.
Oh, aye, mostly, yeah.
Yeah.
So when you were in the pub, it was mostly a pub of
Oh, we all,
boys
we all
or
mostly
whatever.
all Irish, yeah.
And then
Like home from home.
And
Yeah.
then same like if you go to the Galtymore, you know,
It's all Irish.
yeah, I mean it wasn't Indians. or
All
people
different
like that.
counties.
No, no.
Different counties.
And so the women or young women, obviously, I presume it was young women you were interested in then, but I presume a lot of them were Irish. They went. What did the women do when they went over? It's like I presume they left home young, like you, and went
a
over.
lot of
What
them
sort of
worked in
work would they do?
factories and pubs,
Right.
Pubs and
hospitals, you know, the likes of that class of work, you know.
my wife spent years as a clippy.
Yeah, and the buses.
Buses.
All right, right.
Yeah.
Glasgow and London.
In a way, you're all into one boat, isn't that right?
Oh,
Like men
yeah,
and women,
yeah.
both, you know, lonely away from home, working
Yeah.
hard for the few pound or whatever,
Yeah.
looking the weekend to dance, whatever, yeah. So what about you, Ron? So when you went to Scotland, what city did you go to then?
Oh, I didn't go to any city.
Oh no, sorry, you're in Wales now at the moment. You're in Wales. So what was the social life in Wales and Glamorgan? I
Oh,
mean,
well,
was it a big? There was a lot of people around, like, wasn't it?
we spent 18 months in a pub,
All right,
lodging in a hotel.
Lodging, aye.
all right.
And,
So you could just
Yes.
spend your money where you got it.
Oh, you're lucky,
So-
unlucky, which?
But there was a dance hall and everything else there, and a church,
Right.
everything in Aberconn.
So
everything was at
that a
hand.
big community or small? I mean, it was.
Oh, that was a fine big town.
All right, okay, yeah. So lots of activity in that. Yeah.
A lot of activity.
Right.
Glenmorgan was a big town.
Yes. Could go away
So
to.
what age is at that point? Are we talking about 24, 25? Would you been still in these type of situations in the mid 20s? Yes.
They're married,
Were you
they're
married
married
by
at
then?
that time.
21.
All right. So tell me about that, Connie. I mean, did you meet your wife in England?
No, Scotland.
So
Glasgow.
you'd left. Obviously, you'd moved
Oh,
to
well,
Scotland. Sorry.
We'd be up for weekends and different things. We were working in Glasgow at the time, and
Right.
just met her at a dance, and that was it.
Right.
And well, I was back to England when I was going out with her, like, you know.
So
I was
when you were
working.
courting her or whatever,
Yeah.
you might have been away.
Oh, you'd be
during the
away
week,
working
Meet her
and-
every now and then,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Right. So what age were you when you got married then?
20 years.
20. Oh, right. So I'm sort of saying it's very early or late. No, but I mean, you weren't that long on running around the place on your own. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Since I was 15 until I was 20. Long enough.
a friend of mine in Belfast, his father used to tell me, fellas chase women until the women catch them. I thought that was a very good saying, you know. So what about you, Des? What's your route to, I mean, you're there, you know, when you were there, are you 20, 22, what's happening? Like, I'm just wondering when you get into early 20, what do we do next? What are you looking at? What's your expectations of the future? Or
I got married when I was about 21,
21,
22
okay,
years.
so you were married quite young as well, yeah.
21, I think, 22, coming 22, I think.
Right, oh, how about yourself, Ronald?
Oh, well, I was a bit older when I got married. Yes, I didn't get married till I was 24.
24, but you, it's interesting you say that's old. Like, you know, you certainly weren't the oldest swingers in town.
No,
I just came over. I was here on holidays, came from Wales on holidays here.
And you met your wife here. She was from here, was she?
No, she wasn't. She came over from Glasgow.
Oh, right,
She
okay.
was over
Right.
for a while. Anyway.
So, I mean, it was very much the expected norm. People got married, isn't that right? That was just the way of the world, like. I'm just thinking, like, the reason I'm asking, if you were, like, you can imagine, say, your grandchildren or whatever meeting people like that now, they're 20, and I don't think that's where their life mentality should it be. They wouldn't be able to do their own dishes at that stage, you know. But I mean, you've been away, you'd cook for yourself and all of the rest.
yeah.
Obviously, when you're away, you're sort of looking
to.
after you, you know how to get about the place. And also, if you've travelled, like you said, going to London on your own, you know how to be lost and get over it. It's not right there.
Aye.
The other thing that the boys used to hang around from in London, the two lads from Rathfriland and County Down, they used to say, as I travelled with them in America, they used to say it's day dog or shite the licence. So they dealt with things, you know. But when you're in, would you have had an idea at that stage, and I want to be, or this is what I'd like to do, or I want to, did you have any purposes or goals? Or
No, not really. No, you just got on with your work and you fully try to get a better wage wherever you went.
I wanted to go to America.
You always wanted to go to
Yes,
America?
I was wanted out in America.
But what was it about America that attracted you?
Well, see, my father, mother's sister, she was in, in America.
Right. And is it that you would have heard good stories about?
The same age as myself.
But I presume through the movies and all the rest, everybody gets a picture of America. It's not right. Great place, not to go there, like, yeah.
That there was plenty of work and everything else there for me, but I could never get a passport to go anywhere.
Just come back to that. So again, I know it's not that we scared it over at the start, but because that's something we were talking about actually before we started this recording, about the difficulties that exist for someone who was adopted. In your case,
well, in my case, I was never registered anywhere.
So you were born physically in Liverpool, but never registered.
Never registered.
Right.
That's a deal.
So, I mean, you've talked to me before, Ronald, about how you spent your whole life going around trying to find out who you are. So I think that's probably a fair, isn't it?
I always thought I was born by the roadside somewhere.
Yeah.
I always thought it was in Ireland, but it wasn't.
And look, I think you've told me your foster parents were very good to you. It's not right. I mean, you had a good. I mean, it's not nothing to do with any of that, but the society in which you live. Because I do think you told me that. I think you must have approached. I think it was a priest or something in Castle Dermot to try and find out who you were. And you didn't get a lot of help. It's not right.
Didn't get much help there.
No.
I said to him straight out. I said, "You must have got a good backhander." I said, "For changing my name." I said,
well, so your name had been changed.
Well, my name was changed to Joseph.
Right.
So you were banked into school in Castle Dermot.
Because Connie, you had said that you would know.
Well, that's all. I knew him as Joe Turk.
I was
Glasgow.
fostered out, see,
Right.
in Castle Dermot. And at that time...
So just explain fostering again, maybe, because that wouldn't be an understood term. Fostering meant that, sorry, am I using the right words in saying the child would be given to another family?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure for what purposes, but would it be to work or just that they would have company? I'm not sure what it was.
They were to get money.
To get money. So
at that age, see, I was fostered out there when I was just 18 months old.
Right.
I was crowd in Castle Dermot. And
so they would have got money for fostering you?
Oh,
is that
yes,
correct?
yes, they were getting paid weekly.
Right.
And then I was banged into school. But because I wasn't born a Catholic, I wouldn't be allowed into a Catholic school.
No.
And so they just got me baptised.
Right, so that you could get into a school.
They changed everything. So I approached him about it. I said, "Oh, for God's sake," he said, "you know yourself," he said, "anybody with the name of Ronald Turk," he said, "would not be allowed into a Catholic school." He said, "You had to have a saint's name in them days to get into school."
Right. So what did they call you?
Oh, I felt like
They call you St. David or something?
The fellow that baptised me.
You and Joseph.
And he never spoke to me after that. And time I phoned, but wouldn't even answer it.
But how did you feel about that? Now, look, hold on. In the present era we live in, guys, every time someone goes, how do you feel? How do you feel? Everybody's interested in how you feel. And I was trying to ask Des, what did it feel like getting into London at your own? And Des said, what do you mean with no time for feelings here? I just got to get on with it, didn't you? That doesn't mean you didn't have feelings. You still did. We everybody, you know. Feelings.
Surely, yes.
I mean, how do you remember feeling about that, Ronald?
I felt suicidal many a time about it. It would get the better of me. I didn't know who I was, where I came from.
Imagine.
Couldn't get a passport, couldn't get nothing.
Yeah, it's funny.
And Lily asked me 3 times to go abroad with them. I turned them down.
This was one of the contractors, I think, is it?
Contractors in Scotland.
Right.
And the fourth time I was asked to go, I said no. And the site agent said to me, he said, I don't think, he said, this will go down too well for you. He said, this time, he said, it's the fourth time, he said, you're used to go.
Because you didn't get a chance to explain why.
So,
the reason you had no passport.
I said, the reason is, I said, I haven't got a passport. I said, I can't get one. He said, oh, for God's sake, he said, everybody in the company has a passport.
Right.
Well, not me, I said.
Right.
So I told him the whole story. He said, leave it with me, he said. And that evening, he came into the hut and he said, you're not coming into work tomorrow, he said. You're going to Edinburgh Airport instead to London. There'd be 2 or 4 league of people there to meet you.
Right.
Take you to the Irish Embassy. And by 2 o'clock I had a passport.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Huh?
And 2 weeks after that I went out in the Emirates.
Jesus. Imagine.
There's the brown envelope. And
Yeah.
The brown, the colour
Oh,
never
yes.
changed, did it?
No.
Yes.
It's always been brown.
Brown, yeah.
yes.
Imagine what can be done when you
Yeah.
again meet the right people. Like
Well, you said that earlier on, as in terms of even getting in anywhere to a job in Ireland,
Yeah.
you had to know somebody. Is that
oh
right?
yeah, definitely someone big.
But I mean,
And
one thing that strikes
brown
me
envelope too.
looking at all these things, we all live in bureaucracy of some sort or another, and the one thing that bureaucracy has is no feelings. Any bureaucracy, it doesn't matter whether it's you in hospital in Letterkenny last Friday, for countless hours waiting to be looked at. Ultimately, you're a number in the system, and you just moved along.
Yeah.
And so, you then talk about when you're isolated within that, Ronald, there's no one to turn to. Like, the other thing I remember, like, and even worse in those days, like, if you had gone off and taken your own life, firstly now, the Catholic Church, and I'm not just saying the Catholic Church, but basically you'd be looked down on. You wouldn't even be allowed to be buried. So there was no room for feeling sorry for yourself. Not very comfortable. And I mean, you'd say the same. And in some way, it's almost the other extreme now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You nearly couldn't look somewhere crossways at someone now because they might start crying. Like, there are extremes in this, and I think it's really important for anybody listening to this, especially from a younger age group, to understand that the context was different. Like, you in a place where there was endless amount of jobs, but they're all hard work and they're all manual labour. That sort of work to a large degree doesn't exist because it's all been automated machinery and all that sort of stuff. But the other thing is you were a cog in a wheel. Right, and you expect to just get on with it and go down the pub every weekend and live.
The work never ever bothered.
No.
You were fit for it.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be much help to you if you weren't fit for it.
No.
You know what I mean?
No,
I mean, you're talking about the effect of the minds in people's lives that breed and all that. Like, when I left college, I went working on Irish Cement in Platten. And I mean, I remember the first day I went to work, I was an engineer. Maybe you're all right, I was an engineer. I went in there in a pinstripe suit. You might say, why did I go in a pinstripe suit? And then anything else. I just said then I wore it to interviews and all that. So we went in my suit thinking, hey, I better go in here. So I came home that day and I had fucking cement dust all over me. The whole place was full of cement dust. Jeez, I was realised I had a car. And I went out and the whole car was coloured like it was brown with cement dust. And I'd be wondering why the guys would go down to the pub afterwards and drink 4 or 5 pints. And the reason they were drinking 4 or 5 pints, they were dry. And I'd be drinking 4 or 5 pints of milk along with them. So, but now you look at the effect that was obviously going to have on your lungs.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, Ronald, you need to be still alive around here. You must have some powerful set of lungs, like,
I'm the same. I have no breath at all.
COB.
The
whole
the same as that.
So when you were working to Wimpy days, was it carpentry work? Did you lean towards carpentry work, or
Started off with carpentry work, yeah. And
right?
Then I got greedy. Then I was told there was more money out in British Rail.
Oh, you went to British Rail, all right?
How about out working with a subcontractor?
Right.
Tearsons. You went out on Sundays and Saturdays and all the night shift of it.
Right.
And you got your wee shovel and you were horsing away. And, oh yeah, I tell you, you only had got one at the time, but there was old-fashioned men there would put everything on to you like to get.
No,
See if they actually could break you in and get you sacked. But there was badness among them, like gangs like that. Worked on there for a year with them for a year or two. Then eventually, a friend of mine then was staying in Diggs, Leeton on again. He said, how would you like to become an electrician, Desi?
All right, so you could.
Oh, I said, well, that one. He said, I can get you a job as an electrician's mate.
Right, okay.
And he got me on there, the electrician's mate. Spent a year or two on that too, electrician's mate. And then I packed it up then and eventually went underground the tunnels,
Underground.
Victoria Line.
Right.
And that's where I was when poor President Kennedy was shot.
63.
That's right.
That's where you
And
were.
Tottenham Hale.
I was in Highbury at the time.
So you can remember where you were that evening,
Oh,
can
I
you?
remember that day, that night.
Aye, we were in
Where were
Highbury.
you?
Highbury.
At a game in Highbury.
No,
sorry.
Highbury. We were working the tunnel there.
Right.
We were going to night
How
shift.
did you hear about it?
On a night shift that night. We had,
Was
we
it
had
on
no
the radio or no?
well,
You hear from somebody else?
somebody else had in the
From
job.
the
Once we were in the going on
Probably
night
up
shift.
in the boy up in the
We were
canteen,
told-
probably,
Aye.
out of the radio or something.
What,
Yeah.
what about you, Ronald? Do you remember where you were the night Kennedy died?
I was in Glasgow.
You were in Glasgow. But do you remember hearing about it?
Yes.
Yeah, because I am just remember. I think I might have been about 8 or 9, and I know that I was coming home from singing in the choir in the church, and I came home and I heard about it. I don't know much more the detail,
Yeah.
but it is interesting. Like it's almost like 9/11. It's the biggest thing,
Yeah.
and I don't know why we Irish know this, but we do know that.
An outrage group, and anything towards
Right.
the
And the
massive.
time the brother was killed, we were in Dundee
Right.
working.
When Robert Kennedy was killed. Yeah.
Myself and the
Right,
brother-in-law
aye.
mine were working on we're piling.
So can I ask another question about religion in terms of? So I presume now, apart from the fact that you couldn't say whether Ronald would be allowed to be a Catholic or not with a name like Turk, I don't know. So sorry, the other background in your ethnicity is it Jewish? Is it
Jewish.
Jewish? Yeah. So, but you were still raised within, say, the Catholic environment. Let's say when you're in your primary school. Did you ever think of non-Catholics? Do you know what I mean? Like I was raised a Catholic when I was growing up. I was Catholic, so I was told all the other people were going nowhere. There was only one road in, and all the other people, even the good ones, they didn't get in, right? And I just went along. I must be lucky, you know. I didn't. I mean, there was a Protestant couple lived across the road in an estate where we were, but they were very quiet people. They had no kids, and they were a lot older from us. We never really knew them. In terms of you growing up, I mean, what was your sense of being a Catholic?
Well, we were, when I was growing up now, Bunbeg Harbour, that was the big shop that time.
Yes, sir. You're right. There was a shop as well as a store.
That 4-storey building, that was a shop, store.
Right, okay.
And even the boats used to come from Scotland with timber,
Of course they did.
cement and everything else come into Bunbeg.
And get their supplies.
Down there, it was the Alcorns and the Boyds. They were Protestants.
names, yeah. Okay.
Now, we got on very well with them.
Right.
But at school, you know, they were at school, but once it came, I think it was between 12 and half 12 or something, you would be praying, you know, in the school.
Yeah.
They were
They went into another
outside.
place. Oh, outside,
You know,
all right.
outside, and the big, if it was raining, the big porch or something
Right.
for half an hour. But no, we got on well with the Protestants. Knew them very well, you know. Very
good
friendly
people.
with them.
They were very helpful neighbours.
Oh,
They had
aye.
a
They were very,
very,
very-
So
helpful.
no
Very-
issues in that respect.
No.
But what about religion itself?
And I worked with Protestants, same as Ronald there.
Oh, same as that.
Crowd from Dunfanaghy and that
Right.
with Lully. You couldn't get better people.
Get better people.
Couldn't get better
But
people.
what about religion itself? I'm just thinking, did you feel yourself religious? Did you go to confession?
Oh, well, we went to Mass, surely, you know.
Right.
Used to go to
Did
Mass.
you do the
Yeah,
three
I
Our
did.
Fathers and the three Lares?
Oh, that's what that time.
Bad thoughts, Father. No.
You had to be caught by the ear.
When you were young, but even when we were in England, we used to go to Mass. You
And
know.
would you have gone to confession, though? I'm interested in that.
Not very,
idea.
very seldom.
You would?
You wouldn't be a confession as often, you
Right.
know.
Oh, once I blew one.
Aye, on them to- But no,
Because I
no.
suppose when we were raised, it was sort of almost.
Oh, when you're raised,
Yeah,
when
we
you
were
were
small,
going to
like
school,
we were going to
yeah.
confession and
Oh,
going
you had
Mass
to when
on
you
the
were
Sunday.
small.
It was all the same thing, and you learned what sins to tell from the fellas. You know, I had bad. The one was when you were 9 or 10. You always had to say you had bad thoughts, and I always find it was interesting. I didn't know what that meant. I mean, it was 9 years of age. Like, but the boy said, you better say the bad thoughts because otherwise he'll ask you questions, and he give you the three Our Fathers, the three Hail Marys, and all the rest. It was just interesting because obviously for whatever reason, the world has changed substantially in terms of how people operate. And I do think that can I ask, in your periods of, in the song Let It Be, when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes, did you find religion to be a relief or to sustain you in any way at times that you were feeling down or weren't feeling great? Like, would you pray to have a better outcome and believe that it would come as a result of prayer?
I would, yes.
Right.
I did. I felt relief.
Right,
After
okay. No, I mean,
confession.
yeah.
I did.
And what about you guys?
Oh,
then?
you would surely, but
I mean, the reason I'm saying we're 2026, and one of my passions is about, I keep saying that, is what will a shed look like in 2030? And especially for the age group of men who may be 50 and more at that stage. And my belief is that those men will have grown up in a world that religion is not a core in their lives. And as a result of it, they don't have the protection that religion can bring. Like you said, the sense that, look, I can pray to somebody, let's say I'm in World War I, I'm in the Somme or something, I'm going to die anyway, I start praying, you know what I mean? It gives you some hope. What happens to a world where hope doesn't exist? It's not an option. Because I think that creates huge levels of isolation. And I think that the culture that we grew up in was supportive in that sense. Now, whether you like it or not, or believe in it, that's not the point. The point is that it did bring people together. Like it's like, say you were getting together for Sunday Mass. I presume there's a lot of hangovers going in there. Sunday Mass. But at least it was you get up and you put a bit of gear on, you tidy yourself up, and you had a reason to get together. Like communities kept together. Even like all the Irish, the Catholics would all go and they'd all meet there on the Sunday and know who's your man or somebody's dead or whatever. That's like, I'm just wondering if somebody went nowadays to London at say 17 in the same way, you mightn't find your own kind, as a fellow say, very easy, because people from every culture. So anyway, you've all ended up. Did you go out to the Middle East at all, Des? No.
To go what?
Did you go out to the Middle East or the Emirates like the boys did?
No. I went to Germany eventually the last couple of years.
Right.
Before 92 or 1991.
And what brought you to Germany? Were you still were you still the electrical expert at that stage, or you bluffed with something else as well?
Something else. Well, I was back in England that time as well.
Right.
In the late 80s, up to the 90s, and a friend of mine from Bahrain, he was working out in Germany, Tom Rue, called. He said, you should come over with me for the crack. Work with Aston Ireland. They're a Kildare company, actually.
And what were they doing?
The concrete and steel fixture.
Oh, right, okay.
Schutzing and all that.
And what parts of Germany would you have worked in?
We're in Bonn.
Bonn, right. And was there again a big sort of developments going on there?
Massive.
Right.
Massive, but you said there were an extension to the Bonn Parliament, and it was massive. It was from here over to Scioból further, the length of it. From here to past Scioból,
right.
There now, massive. And then we left there. Then eventually, that got flooded. We were home at Christmas. 93. We were home at Christmas, and there was a massive flood over there, all the way down from Holland, down the Rhine.
Yes, yeah.
And it flooded our basement area where we were working down there. Well, most was up there, but most of it was down there for car parks and rest. We're all down underneath. That got flooded. Eventually, then we moved down to East Berlin. But
of course, the wall came down in 89. It's not right.
Walked right next to along Checkpoint Charlie.
Right.
Built the fucking flats and all there.
Was there much of it left? There was still a lot of it left at that stage, wasn't there?
Oh, there was, surely.
Yeah, I mean, we were there a couple of years ago. There was only about 100 metres of the wall left there.
89, that was pulled down in 89.
Right.
Checkpoint Charlie. So that was nice, quite really. Was there for a year or so and came back then. We're working on an old, fixing a turf shed. Fixing an old turf shed, getting it ready for the turf.
Where's that?
My home, at home.
Oh, you'd come back?
I was home on holidays.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Quick job, the opposite turf shed. There was a concrete roof on it, and some came down handy enough, and there was a wee bit over in one corner. And of course, Desi went up with a sledgehammer and knocked it away, and the whole thing gave and jumped at the back of the neck.
Wow.
That was the start of my problem.
That's
There
the
was.
problem, aye.
I went through it 2 or 3 years now, that leg was getting worse. The power. So eventually we end up in Beaumont,
Right.
96, and they took whatever they done on the back of the neck, and they froze something there, and lucky enough, I'm able to walk at the moment, or do a bit, and Annie, keep going, best
So
we can.
how long's it since that accident? This 30 years, is it? 30 more?
Oh, I think 19, maybe 93, 94 or something.
Right.
Since then. I still in Germany and you open back.
Right. So you landed back at home in Leitrim then, was it? Or was it here you landed
Yeah,
back?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
So why would you have come here? Sorry.
huh?
Why did you come to Brenlag? Oh, sorry, was it again
Love.
some woman chased you and you caught her? Love.
She caught him.
No, but your woman was from Brenlag, was she?
Pick up a washing machine.
All right, okay.
She caught him.
As the Paddy used to call them back on them.
Right.
Oh, in London, they were all, oh, where were you? Oh, the bloody washing machines were running up.
So tell me, Gage, about the Emirates, and I'm always fascinated. I just, you said to me one day, Connie, you were talking about it, you were on a machine out there one day and it was really, really hot. This, as I remember you telling me, and that you went down to the sea to cool off and you got into the water and it was roasting.
I just went, if I get a chance, we get my 2 feet under there.
Yeah, they just said the water was roasted. You know, so put a bit of context on it. So did you meet? Did you would have? Were you there at the same time?
We were.
Yeah.
All right, and would you have come across each other?
We did.
No,
Right.
just once.
You
We were
went down to our place.
we were in Shasha, just out away from Dubai, and then we were in Dubai as well. And I was with a plant hire crowd. What do you call them? Hill House plant. Was working in Ravenscraig, we were pilot, and he landed and wanted to know if I would go to Dubai. So the money was good and everything, but like Ronald had no passport either, you know, I never had a passport.
Oh, because you didn't need
So-
a passport to be in England.
No,
Yeah.
so with me being Irish, I said, I have no passport. Oh, that's no problem, he says. Away he went. There was about 10 o'clock in the morning. He landed back on the job at 2. He said, there's a passport lying in the house for you. He said, there's a plane ticket and all. For 2 days later.
Right.
So on the way out there, we were out in Dubai, then Shasha. And you worked. Friday was your day off. That was the Sunday out
It was
there.
a Sabbath.
Oh,
Sabbath.
that's their religion or whatever.
Aye, that's their
So
religion.
Friday's their special day. Yes.
Friday, you
Right.
didn't work on a Friday.
Right.
So there was 3 or 4 of us staying in the one house. So we decided we'd go away we had a firm car, you see, had plenty of transport. So we went away and landed up in Ashman.
That's where you were working,
Yeah.
was it?
We were
All right,
working
okay.
on- we're
How
up
far
there
would that
for
have
the day.
been, by the way? I've no
It
idea.
was a good journey.
Oh, it was.
Oh, it was a good journey.
We
I can't
talked about
remember
100
now.
miles or...
But we were 60 miles, working 60
Yeah,
miles away
further
from
than
Edgeman,
there.
Oh,
Aye.
okay.
out in the desert.
Right.
So, but we were, for where I was, you see, we were in, it was mostly all pilot, large diameter, you know, with the rig mounted on the machine, on the crane.
All right, right.
And you just dug the hole and the cage went in and concrete it.
Can I ask you, the soil,
For-
was
it
the
was
soil
for-
mostly sandy soil?
So, sand, aye. And mostly for hotels and buildings. And
So I presume
there
the
was
piles had to
nothing-
be extra deep or whatever
Oh, aye.
because of the soil structure. Yeah.
that time there wasn't much in Dubai that time.
Well, that often strikes me when we see pictures. Now, everybody's stopping in Dubai, going on all
aye.
this to Australia, and Dubai's a monstrous place.
Monstrous place.
And you're the guys who basically built
Yeah.
it from.
Well, from
you know,
the-
49 years ago.
Yeah, when I came off the plane, you came off and you came down the steps out on the tarmac. And when the door opened, when you went outside, you said, there's some heat off them engines.
all right.
The big engines, you say, some heat with them. You knew all about it when you went across the tarmac.
No, betcha.
The heat there was
Two
wild.
policemen down at the bottom of
That's
the steps
right.
with 2 rifles.
Aye.
What was their role? What was the rifles about?
Oh, well, that's the
Security.
security.
yeah.
But you went into the building, Dubai, and one of the biggest airports now, I would say, in the world.
Sure, yeah.
It was, you know, this Derry airport.
Right.
That's what it was like, wasn't it, Ron?
Yes.
There was nothing in it.
Yeah.
No,
Not a thing in it.
no.
And in Dubai, they were working tarmac, and a crowd of them was working building roads. But there was a good stretch of road. Now we worked in Abu Dhabi, and we used to travel to Abu Dhabi, which was about 90 kilometres or something, something like that, up there. And there was one place, I can't think of the name of it now, between Dubai and Abu Dhabi. We were in it, and we were building a deep water harbour coming in. We were piling both sides, and then the sand was getting dug out for boats to come in.
Right.
And there was a camp. We were staying in at a house in Dubai, but it was a camp there. It was some camp. The canteen there was it was the length of this building here. And the food was all, when you went in for your dinner, food was all on one side. And you could get anything you want. And if you wanted steaks or chops or whatever, you went across the other side. And there was a hole there, and you just ordered. You got as much as you want. That was one thing. The camp was great. We never stayed in it, but we used to get fed in the canteen.
Right.
Oh, it was.
And were the workers who were there, again, were they mostly, let's say, English speaking, or because am I right in thinking now there's a lot of people from Asia and that?
India and Pakistan.
They were there as well.
It was all Indians and
And that's what they've done. They were now, you'd be out on a machine, and there were a man out along with you. You were more or less teaching him. And if you look at the television now, the day in the show you do Dubai or Abu Dhabi or any of them places, it's all black men that's in the machines.
Right.
Because they were all
taught by you guys.
That was the idea of it.
So you were in a different place. What do you call it? Asham? Ashman, okay. So what sort of work were you doing? Was that, what sort of work was that?
The first job we done there was a 36-inch water main.
All right, okay. Oh, so was that tunneling sort of, or was that underground? No, it was surface?
Surface.
All right.
Surface.
All sand work.
Right.
And rock work.
No,
places.
those rock places,
Rock places.
Rock places.
With 30 miles of a
Overrun. Yeah. And again, would you be working 8 hours a day there, or you work longer days? Or?
Oh, yeah, we're working from 7 to 7, 12 hours.
All right, because there's no point being out there unless you work all the hours God gave, isn't that right?
Long days.
Right.
And then see, there was a huge penalty on the job.
Oh, if you didn't.
A huge penalty on it.
But was there bonuses if you came in on time? Like, did you pick up bonus work, or in terms of how you were paid?
Well, no, we weren't bonus where you just got your wages. And
The firm picked up a bonus.
Yeah,
we didn't get it.
Yeah.
The only thing I got out of it was an extra week's holidays.
Right. And would they fly you back for holidays? How often a year would you get back?
6 months. At that time.
6 months, and you get home for how long?
But I didn't get home for 7 months because they wouldn't let me go then till
the job was finished.
No. The first section of the job had to be tested.
All
the
right.
pipes tested.
Right.
Pressure tested. And
hello?
I took 8 miles of a stretch.
Hello?
For the first lot to get tested. And that took some time. Of course, they were all asbestos pipes, see.
So just, I can't imagine there'd be a lot of air conditioning 50 years ago, is that right?
Yeah, there was air conditioning.
Oh, there was, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
There was air conditioning.
Oh, there was plenty of air conditioning.
All the houses.
So did you find the work, was it, like compared to the work in England, like say 1,000 feet down in the mines, was it better than that? I mean, comparing conditions, which would you prefer?
I loved the heat.
All right, okay.
Yes, I enjoyed the heat.
Right.
What that?
Yeah.
And how about you?
Oh, I enjoyed it.
Right. You're in demand, Connie.
Hi, hello? No, I'll be home in a wee minute. Right.
We'll be trying to take him back out to Abu Dhabi again.
I have to go because I have a man to go to work.
All right, we just give it 5 minutes. We just tidy up. Look at so just a quick wrap around. I mean, I was interested in that world from that time and what has been through. But so you're back here now, and I mean, we've been in the men's shed here. Like we've been in this building for probably near 10 years now. And I know a couple of years ago I had a short chat with Ronald about what he found when you came here first. So what do you think of the idea of mental? Like, you grew up in a time where you hung around with guys, you stayed in digs with them, you went drinking with them, you went dancing with them, and there was a lot of working men's clubs. There were places men could socialise, right?
Yeah.
That's not the way. I mean, even nowadays with remote working, a person could be working and never meet the people they're working with.
No.
So how do they get on? Like, I see you guys playing cards here on a Monday and a Thursday night, and you get a chance to chat. So what is that like for you?
To converse.
Des, what's that like? I mean, do you like coming down for what do you get out of this?
Definitely, yeah. It's more as companionship. You feel, you feel you have someone you can converse with.
Right.
If you're sitting indoors while you're sitting and watching bloody television or something, you're watching yourself reading the paper, or, you know. You don't get the failures now like we used to in the old days.
Right.
It gets you out of the house, you know.
Like, I know it's easy to watch
House,
telly.
right.
Like, we're all big TV, it's very comfortable and all
At
the rest.
25, well, who's going to play 25 with you now?
Yeah, you can't play cards.
Come to your house and play 25.
Yeah.
And then Ronald makes the tea. He's a great tea man. What more do you want?
What more do you want?
Well, I would be completely lost without the shed.
No, I mean, it's transformational for you, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And even as we talked, like, you used to go out at night. I mean, I know, like, there's good and there's bad about the fact that the shed's open at night. Like, if people were working, obviously couldn't get here during the day. And the other hand, at night, you might go out the door and it's dark and wet and windy, but you do it, you know, when you come at night. I think that's what you said. Once you get here, you realise you did the right thing. It's not right.
Oh, definitely. Without a doubt.
I mean, my sense is, like, you know, there's hundreds of men in this area, even in your own age groups, and you know that they're sitting at home and they might be reading the paper. In fact, they don't even we get papers anymore.
No.
But they're not having the bit of chat, not right? They're not having talk.
They're
Not communicating with people.
Just not and conversations, right? Like the young kids nowadays, they miss out on the conversation with the mobile phones. You know, they don't know who to talk to. They don't know how to talk to people now.
Anyway, guys, look, thanks for coming in and sitting in this morning. I mean, I just hope that anybody listening might realise that, I mean, this shed is a community shed. It's a shed. And by the way, people, last night we have a sing session here on a Monday night in one of the other rooms. The guys play cards here. Some guys are playing bowls upstairs. Some guys are doing work out in the workshop. And two new women joined us for the singing last night. And I thought it was brave of them.
I'm going to get down.
Yeah, but no, it was great that they, like, I mean, you know, it's a real dark place to come up here in the middle of the night on your own. But I thought it was wonderful, and I just know that they felt made very welcome. So, I mean, one thing I've always noticed about our shed, whereas it's a main shed, like, I mean, the women who have been very helpful to us, like Anne-Marie's been very helpful, Mary's been very helpful, Mary
they all very helpful.
They've done great things to support us. And when they come to our shed, I think they like being in a man's shed. They're not trying to turn it into a women's shed. I think that's been great. So listen, thanks, guys. And
who are they doing?
Thank you for your patience.
I'm not really sure. Sorry, I know their names, but I think they might come from out Falcara way. And they play some ukulele and guitar other places. So we are hoping that they might expand. Like, the one thing about our shed is we are open to encouraging new people to come. Like 10 years ago I was 60 and I'm now 70 and you men were 10 years younger. I mean, that's the reality. So the future of the shed very much depends on new blood, new life coming in. So I hope I hope people feel that nobody get no harm done to here. Is that no harm done? No animals killed in the making of this movie. All right, guys. Thanks for you. All right.
And we got well fed.
I read your post.
All right.
Well fed in the middle of it all.
My God, it's unbelievable.
Fed and water.